Hi everyone, it's May 24, 2021, and thank you for watching the Awesome10X Global Market Update. It's a Monday, let's begin. So I'd like to share a few news results first. So let me read a nice insight from King Tut. He shared about the earnings of SoFi, aka IPOE. They're actually going to change their name this May 27 or Thursday, and let's read about the results. So the first quarter 2021 results of IPOE, this is the Chamath SPAC. 430,000 members. They've gotten their biggest ever growth. They now have 2.3 million members in total. And so far, it's up 110% year on year. They've got 3.2 million total products used, 121% year on year. Galileo just hit 70 million accounts, net revenues of about $216 million. EBITDA is positive, and they reiterated their 2021 guidance. So we'll see about this. 7 consecutive quarters of year-on-year growth, a company growing from 700,000 members to 2.3 million members, not bad. You're also seeing Galileo accounts growing from 17 million to about 70 million. Okay, and reiterating their guidance, actually still strong at about $1 million dollars. So this is actually $1 billion. And then a contribution for profit. And despite not having $12 million of revenue from Apex, the negative, we continue to have a guidance like this. Okay, so this is $980,000, or is it thousand? So it should be $980 million. We'll see. It's $1 billion. I'll read the numbers again. Net revenue for the quarter. Yeah, so that's correct. So for a quarter, it's about $200 million. Actually, a growth of about 14% beat. Okay, and then EBITDA is trying to be net break even. Okay, we'll see about more things. The summary, full summary, we can actually read it from the SEC. A lot of SPAC gurus are adding SoFi while it's actually low. Some of the people's strategies is a butterfly spread. They're buying a call at $15 low strike price, while they're also selling a call at about $22, knowing that it wouldn't actually go beyond $20 or even a higher strike price. They're actually selling the calls at 22 and 30. So it's actually a butterfly spread. Same expiration, agree with this. So he's actually taking the spreads. He's actually taking a $2.50 spread and about $1 here, meaning he's willing to buy IPOE at 15 minus 2 or about $13. And then if it goes above $22 or $30, he's selling. So that's actually a range, and I'm agreeing with what SPAC Guru is doing. Basically, you could see that the market is in a specific range. Take a look at this, IPOE. IPOE has bottomed out. This is March 4. This is your March 25. This is the April 20. And just recently, we got a bottom around May 14. Here at 19 and 20, some people are actually going to sell some calls at high strike. So it's at about $20 right now. They don't want to sell about 22 or even 25 with a purchase of a premium of about $2 or even higher. So that's normal because you could see that there's a huge resistance on IPOE. Despite any good news, you'd see that there will be a resistance here about $20 and $22, which suggests that that strike price of sell call makes sense. Now you're wondering, why did he buy a call here? Buying a call is actually similar to just selling a put. So usually what we do is we sell puts here and we sell calls here, which actually makes the same thing. But he bought a call here at a 15 strike, which means that his strike is actually in the money. You'll notice that from this picture, this was 22 hours ago, he bought a call at about $2.40. It's actually perhaps $2.50 right now. And actually, it could be about $3 later on because a $15 plus $18.78 means that it's actually in the money in about $3.78. 18.78 minus 15, that's 3.78 intrinsic value of that call. So that makes sense. You can see that the 15 strike is very well done because that is actually this double and quadruple support. So another thing to share is other than IPOE, I'd say that this is a trading range. Take note that last Friday, I hope that you learned something from me. Last May 21, I discussed about have the high growth stocks bottomed out. And true enough, we've seen quite a lot of software names actually hit higher, and we showed you a lot of charts. So this was actually last Friday, and you could see that so far, as of last week, most of the movements last Friday was considerably higher lows from May 14, a bullish candle for the week. Let me show to you the exact numbers, the exact chart prices. But while I'm loading that, take a look at the first quarter results. So strong growth, members, products, financial services. Okay, so SoFi is similar to like your Binance or your Square, wherein you can actually purchase cryptocurrencies, and you can actually purchase all types of products such as loans. You can buy stocks. So it's actually a digital wallet. Galileo accounts have been growing. So it's actually a millennial related bank. Wanted to actually share the news that there's a new digital bank coming out in an IPO. The name is Nubank. Nubank is in Brazil. It's actually Brazil's version of a better JP Morgan. Either way, okay. So it's as you know, financial banks are really getting disrupted all over, just like how Square has successfully penetrated millennial wallets, and why JP Morgan is actually interested with the customers as well. JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs are actually working with, Goldman Sachs works with Apple, JP Morgan Chase works with Amazon. So there's a lot of ways that they're actually getting consumer loans with these technology firms. Okay. Just shows to you that IPOE is well managed. Anthony Noto, good numbers. You want to actually learn more if you haven't. Just go to SoFi. It's actually a good company. So it works social finance. So socialfinance.org.uk. Oh, not this one. It's SoFi Wallets. This one. SoFi. Great rates, great benefits, SoFi. So for those who aren't aware that SoFi is listing through a SPAC, do make sure that you can see that this is actually a SPAC that didn't hit $10. Take a look. Member benefits, products. Okay, so perhaps people might wonder, what is the Galileo? So let's see. Galileo, SoFi. 70 million accounts. SoFi acquires Galileo Financial Technologies. That was done April 7, 2020. SoFi, the online personal finance company, announced its acquisition of Galileo. This is a powerful financial services API and payments platform. They're paying it with $1.2 billion, comprising cash and stock. This digital platform enables critical checking, savings account like a functionality via its powerful open APIs, providing companies with an easy way to create sophisticated consumer and business-to-business financial services. Offerings are done via mobile, desktop, and even a physical debit card. So includes account setup, funding, direct deposit, ACH transfers, IVR, early paycheck direct deposits, bill pay, transaction notifications, and a dozen other capabilities. Galileo has processed over $53 billion of annualized payments volume since March 2020, up from $26 billion in September 2019, with accelerating growth. And the Galileo's platform includes several of its leading account and events API functionalities. Galileo and SoFi are working together to accelerate the pace of technology innovation to offer Galileo's partners and subsequently consumers everywhere even more value. With the addition of Galileo, SoFi strengthens its capabilities, rounding out the best-in-class tech system, offering diversification and scale to SoFi's existing infrastructure. Guys, is 2 million accounts small or large? The answer is it's still relatively small. It can actually grow to about 50 million accounts someday, just like how Square and PayPal have actually grown in US. So a lot of people are actually looking at SoFi to actually beat, or at the very least hit a market share movement against Square. SoFi has established itself as a leader in fintech sector. Anthony Noto says, the CEO of SoFi, response have been on across borrowing, saving, spending, and investing, motivating us to think bigger, bolder, and more expansively. In fact, SoFi is probably going to take a market share away from Robinhood, as SoFi has been very much adamant in providing a lot of Robinhood investors a way to diversify and not just actually rely on one app to actually buy stocks. SoFi can do it for them. As you know, there's many alternatives for any American to actually invest globally. They can invest through Robinhood, SoFi for free. You've got Charles Schwab, Interactive Brokers. You've got E-Trade, Ameritrade. You can basically open so many accounts, even with Webull. So a lot of people are actually interested with SoFi, primarily because fintech is, of course, in the $1 trillion payment space. So it's similar to how Ant Financial of Alibaba did well, doing credit, lending, and all of the full services that any millennial and zillennial actually needs. The Gen Zers love these types of platforms. So agree. Okay, you'll learn more about their products: SoFi member rewards, referral program, financial planning, estate planning, product, student loan. You can actually do a refinancing, parent plus refinancing, medical professional refinancing, some private student loans, personal loans, home loans, SoFi Invest. You can actually do that IPO investing. You can do a retirement account, automated investing. You can also invest in crypto, similar to how Coinbase does it, even Square does it, even PayPal does it. So definitely, I think more and more people are seeing that SoFi is like a GCash or an Alibaba AntPay. So how much is the valuation so far? Why do 1.8 million, 2 million members love SoFi? SoFi, smart money moves, earn you points. Points are redeemable for cash, fractional shares of stock, SoFi loan payments, and more. It's help when you need it and complimentary member benefits. For those who still don't know, you can actually watch a one-stop shop for your finances. I like this company, so we'll watch.
If your money is working toward the same goals, why keep it in different places? SoFi is a one-stop shop for your finances, designed to work better together. Spend with SoFi and get cashback rewards that automatically go toward your goals, like investing in stocks, ETFs, and crypto. That's better together. Or pay down your SoFi debt sooner. That's better together. And that's how SoFi is helping millions get their money right.
Basically, there's many benefits to this company. And you could see that the members are happy. $70 million are now saved in the vaults. $22 billion of student debt has been paid off. $50 billion has been funded in loans, as featured in NerdWallet, Real Simple, CNBC, and Forbes. I really believe that SoFi is going to be the Robinhood representation of many American millennials. And so I do believe in this asset class as a stock. So SPACs, this is a good move. I'm happy that Chamath actually listed this company. However, let's understand a few things that you might not am aware of SoFi. Let's go again to the SPAC prospectus of SoFi. Since the merger date is coming out this 27, May 27, giving social capital a ticker symbol change from IPOE to SoFi. A lot of Reddit people actually already invested in IPOE, so this is really a bullish name. Okay, Twitter announced the SPAC merger is coming in this May 27, and what else should we know about it? Well, at $18, it just tells you that people who invested in the IPOE at 10 actually are making money, and even those who got in at 15 can sell at $20 and still make money. So it's not really a bad thing if your SPAC is something that represents high growth and actually executes. Okay, actually this is Palihapitia. Let's listen to him. He knows more about the company. 6 minutes.
Palihapitia announcing here on halftime his latest special acquisition company will merge with the popular fintech firm SoFi. You know that well. And take that company public. There's Chamath. He joins us now. Congrats. Welcome.
Hey, Scott, how are you?
I'm good to have you here. I know you as well. I know it's a big day for you. Why SoFi? Have you been targeting fintech for a while? How did this come together?
Yeah, you know, a lot of the things that I do is try to look back at some of the best investments we've made, like Amazon and Tesla, and try to find patterns. And in this, what I was trying to do was map those patterns into financial services, just because we're at a point in time where it's clear that the banking infrastructure really isn't meeting the needs of U.S. consumers. And so what I did was just kind of systematically try to figure out what was broken in banking, and then try to figure out which company was best representative of the solution that people wanted, which I can basically tell you is three things. People want low to no fees, they want fair and transparent lending, and they want a full suite of products so that you can basically have a one-stop shop. And SoFi basically was the top of the list when I looked across all the companies on those dimensions.
We've obviously been following SoFi for a long time. It's been a member of CNBC's Disruptor 50 list, so we're very familiar with it. We're familiar, obviously, with Anthony Noto. The idea of this disruptive force, Chamath, in banking post-financial crisis, and what people are looking for, that's a big part of the success of SoFi and certainly of your attraction to it.
Yeah, in fact, the way that I think about this is I call this sort of the anatomy of innovation, right? You look under the hood of the best companies and the best CEOs, they do the following things. The first thing is, when you get a good product, you don't sit on your heels. You double down and you invest really aggressively to use technology to drive down the cost. And then what you do is you deliver those savings onto consumers. Then you launch many more products on top of the same platform. And the most important thing you have to do for people is to democratize access to a key resource. That's what Amazon has done. That's what SoFi is doing. Because the problem that banks have right now is after the great financial crisis, what they've done is they make money with hidden fees, with exorbitant fees. They have very restrictive lending practices. Ask anybody who's a middle-income person or a minority or a woman. It's incredibly hard to get access to the money you need to fulfill your dreams. And SoFi has fixed all these things, which is why I think it's such an incredible business.
I mean, SoFi made it clear that it was entertaining the idea of going public through a SPAC. How did you convince Anthony Noto that you were the right sponsor to be the one to make it all come to fruition?
So, the thing that Anthony has done, which is incredible, is he's basically created, again, as I said, this one-stop shop that gets, your money right? A whole suite of products. And the thing is, a lot of what I've done in the past and what my team has done is really help people operationally improve how they grow, how they market, how they can virally expand. And all of these dynamics, I think, came to play because when you look under the hood at SoFi, there's this incredible thing happening. You have these millions of customers, 1.8 million last year, 3 million members this year, but then they are paying for millions and millions of products. And so what we saw were these dynamics where there was this incredible upselling and cross-selling behavior. And what I talked to Anthony about was, can I help? Can I try to do what I've been able to do at Facebook, what I was able to do at Slack? In fact, when Anthony and I first met 10 years ago, it was actually when he was at Twitter, and we talked about working together there to do the same things. And so that's how the relationship started, and that's how we decided to come together.
Okay, so I'll stop you right there. I just want you to know that Awesome10X believes in IPOE. Now, you've noticed that we've had a SPAC winter, but I'm happy to say to you that the numbers validate the necessity to have SoFi in your portfolios. And it's actually a great thing to see that SoFi is actually at $18. So you could see that the market is still bullish on some SPACs as long as that SPACs delivers. And so you can see that IPOE from about $10 rally to $28 is actually consolidating within this $15 to $20 region, telling you that drops at 14 and 13 are actually getting bought, even if it even drops here at about 11 and 12. We actually have a very bullish state on IPOE. Another company in the SPAC field that I still want to discuss, even as many people are already saying that, well, we are in a SPAC winter, there's no such thing as investing in SPACs. We say no to that. Take note that Lucid Motors is still at $19, $20. It's not at $10. If a SPAC is something that people can actually objectively support because of the growth, it isn't true that all the high-tech growth names are actually getting battered down, because not all of them are actually falling. Take note that Roblox is a high-tech growth name that's actually just trading already at all-time highs. I was actually surprised that Roblox managed to break $82 because I thought that 77 was already toppish, but it continued going higher. One of the things that I have to share to you this week is that July, we're going to see Spring Valley acquisition become Aero Farms, which is the largest indoor controlled environment agriculture company in the entire world. So we actually have one of the best disruptors, which is his name is David Rosenberg. I believe that they're scheduled to already change the name this July. So something for everyone to understand: Dave Rosenberg of Aero Farms. Dave. Yeah, David Rosenberg, American business person. They're entering in through a SPAC, and this SPAC is going to happen. The team and board are astounding. They're raising $200 million and transforming urban clean tech for aeroponics for the food security. These are already the companies that are already listed, not listed, but actually AeroFarms is larger than all of them. Whether you're actually very bullish on Bowery, Bright Farms, Iron Box, Freight Farms, Urban Crop Solutions, you'll be happy and astounded that David Rosenberg, finally the largest, this is the Tesla of vertical farming, they're actually getting themselves listed through SV. You want to actually have this because the more you listen into it, even if you listen to their quarterly calls, you're actually an Awesome10X member, go to the deep dive that we've done for SV. Perhaps before July, SV can actually erupt above $10. So we have been seeing it consolidating here at $10. Let me see if there are movements in the SV warrants. Spring Valley acquisition. Not sure if warrants even move nowadays. Spring Valley. I think there aren't any warrants for this. Meron. SV. SVW. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so take a look at this. If you're bullish, watch out how these movements are. This is the SV warrants. If SV breaks above 11, these warrants will actually jump. Same for your SVSU. The units. SV Spring Valley. SVSVU. While it's actually at $10, take advantage of some of these SPACs that the market is actually ignoring for now. You'll see that fundamentals will be a necessity in your portfolio, and you don't want to miss out on good names like that. I'd like to share. Okay, so I was sharing last week that a lot of stocks were actually bottoming out. Let me share to you what companies I've been saying and actually am buying. And while the market is actually wary on US inflation, cryptocurrencies is struggling to steady, actually, let me give my explanation on cryptocurrency. Most of the cryptocurrencies, I was telling some people that really it's just about greedy pigs. You'll notice that all asset classes that go 10x usually get it isn't quite sustainable to actually 10x in just a month or 2 months or 3 months and not get any profit taking. So eventually the catalyst was just really profit taking. You'll argue that $64,000 to $50,000 people are already distributing, and the final catalyst for it to break down was about the environmental concerns. Now from 60,000 it drops 50% to 30,000. However, this type of asset class, the volatility usually renders it to about 70 to 80% down from its peak. So that means that the projection for BTCs should be a rally to 40,000 and then a drop perhaps about 20,000 or even as low as 15,000 or 14,000. So from its peak, assume a drop of about 70%. 70% would be somewhere here about 18,000 region. And you can actually see a potential support here at 22,000. And as an asset class, people would actually voyeur into making a potential drop in Coinbase. So far, if we're going to estimate a 70% drop, that would be roughly here about $140 to $160. So all asset classes, may it be SPAC stocks, we always say pigs get slaughtered. And definitely the last man in is actually somebody who's getting slaughtered for their greediness, which is a normal part of life. Okay. Eventually, of course, this asset class that grows 200% CAGR over the last 10 years can continue to grow, even if not 200% CAGR. Even a 100% CAGR is good enough. So I would assume that people are just spreading their bets and dollar cost averaging at the better entry points of about, I'd say if you're going to ask me, the better entry point would be about 50% is not enough. Usually, if you want capitalization, wait 70%, 80% off from its peak. So that means that you're waiting for Ethereum roughly about $800. You're waiting for Bitcoin roughly at about $12,000 to $25,000 thereabouts. So I'd say that the bearishness will continue to hound. Every resistance will still be sold by some entities in who made 50x, 10x, 20x over a short span of time. Let's give you more ideas. Wait up. Investing.com. So look at the portfolios. All right. So last Friday, BTC-related assets continued to tumble, and actually today, it still continues to tumble. You could see 21%, 10%. Most of these names are still going to tumble likely, and it's not yet time to actually buy any of them. If they rally, that's going to be actually sell rally still. The good thing to share is that last week we saw NVIDIA hit $600. I'm going to share to you what I've been doing. You'll notice that I have some NVIDIA, I've got some Twitter, I have some Disney, I've got some gold. China Southern Airlines for my air travel play. Tesla Motors might actually drop because of the volatility in crypto, but I'd say that Tesla would have a support somewhere at about $520 to $539, somewhere here in the last couple of days. That was the March low, so we'll see whether we can retest that low or even this $494 area. So, of course, these assets like Tesla will actually grow over time, and therefore the drops are actually loved and beloved by people like me. Okay, I'm here to actually share to you that you want to actually go back to the presentation I've done last week because nothing really changed. You actually want to have these internet content and creation, and you'll see that the long-term trajectory is still on the uptrend. And you're seeing actually that most of these stocks manage to already grow at least 10 to 20% in a week's time. So take note, semiconductor equipment and materials. This was the performance last week, and actually continue to grow on Friday. You're actually seeing all greens saying that all of your semiconductors started to rebound, all of your technology firms, if you actually look at it from a half-year perspective, they're actually on an uptrend. So I don't see any problem owning any of these assets, especially on a better pricing point, which is why I was sharing that it's actually good to buy a lot of Baidu. Lot of people like to buy JD and Alibaba, especially after the earnings results. One more thing to share, I'd like to read to you the exact news bit about Netflix. Netflix is into gaming, video games. So what happened? Netflix is saying that they'll expand into video games. Netflix is now looking for an executive to oversee their expansion with video games. They have been approaching veterans about joining the streaming company's efforts to expand the vertical. Members value the variety and quality of our content. Members also engage more directly with a story they love. So we are excited to do more with interactive entertainment. A couple of days ago, I was more bullish with the wearables like Kopin because I was seeing that Disney was actually making a ride, which actually has to do with wearables. So I do think that some of the best trends in the next 10 years will continue to be about innovative companies and making sure that Kopin works with Google, with Vuzi, with Samsung. So there are really interesting companies that you should not actually be afraid of and to buy them actually at discounts. So I'm not actually afraid of cryptocurrencies. I want to actually be buying about 12,000 to 15,000 to 25,000 for BTCs. And I'm actually looking forward to a $150 Coinbase if I could enter. So I want to actually tell you that An opportunity always comes in a sell-off, and that's the reason why I always said that when it's high, you always say pigs get slaughtered, so that when it's low, you have the cash to actually buy it. You'll notice that that's one way to actually take advantage of the volatility. I have some 5x leverage. Actually, most of these are 5x levered. When I learned that I could do leverage in these CFDs, I did go in. I've got some pending orders. I have some buys on Teladoc. I've got some, these are actually some of the buys that I'm willing to buy low. If JD falls about $70, I'll be willing to get in. So far, not all names are going up. Alibaba is at 210. Actually, I'm willing to buy some Alibaba 210 and $200. So you'll see that I'm taking a 10% drop here is actually a 2% drop in the stock. So I'm just actually 5x lever. Example, for Uber, this is a 5x leverage times 5 lever. So I'm actually doing I'm doing a balanced portfolio in the sense that I want some companies in the gold segment. I want some companies in the Airbnbs, in the Ubers for mass transit. I want to actually tell you that last week, Space SPCE rallied 20%, Virgin Galactic. This went up because they were announcing an in-person flight. Let me read the exact news. Virgin Galactic news. I also saw that the Hyperloop was getting a lot of investors. So I shared about the Hyperloop travel. This is a very fast bullet train that where you're just really like in a pod, and it's very good. It's actually something that people thought was going to happen a decade away, but the concept could happen actually in less than 5 years. Take a look at the launch of third successful space flight. Virgin Galactic completes their very first space flight in over 2 years, a step towards finishing. Hello, sorry, I got disconnected. It was just a malfunction of my computer. Okay, let me read some comments. Okay, no questions. So definitely just, I'd have to say that this week it's still gonna be bullish. Just keep on rebalancing your portfolios. You wanna actually have some gold. A lot of metals are actually very bullish. Gold is actually doing well. Take a look at AU, take a look at KL, take a look at GOLD. All of them are actually showing bullishness. So we're seeing actually that the gold mining sector is the strongest move, as well as some buying opportunities in select names. I'm seeing some companies do really well in their earnings front, which suggests that any drops would be bought. So as I said, JD.com, good numbers. Any drops here at $69 or $70 below is a good opportunity to enter. You've got Airbnb, a travel play, good numbers, and actually a drop here at $130 or even $125 is a good opportunity to load up. And in terms of like crypto related stocks, I don't think it's yet, it's time to buy them, either the cryptocurrencies or the stocks related to them. Wait for further sell-off. And if they rally, I'd say that there will still be a lot of resistances. It's not going to be an easy way up. So the path to least resistance for cryptocurrencies is still to the downside in the short term. Thank you for watching Awesome10X and see you again. Bye-bye.